So, hi guys, welcome to tonight's team call. We had to move it to Wednesday instead of Thursday because our diamond retreat is tomorrow, and we are so excited. Sarah and Zach and Tanner that are on the call now are going to be on their way down to visit us, and it's going to be so much fun. We're going to post tons of pictures and videos, and we have plans to go live. And then we're also going to do some of the training that we do. We will do it live in our Beautifully Made group, and then you guys can kind of tune in on it too, so you guys can benefit from the training part that we're doing. And this is just so fun. This is a great way to, rock your business. And we are going to pair up together all of the diamonds to do one big retreat next year. So we're going to hash out the details, and we'll let you know how to qualify for that next year. And most likely it will be being diamond by Halloween this year. So make sure that, really that is so doable because you have so much time between here and there. It's just about getting to Emerald and then getting to Emerald again and then getting to Emerald again. So if you're sitting here and you're an Emerald coach, that if you know exactly how to be a diamond coach, you just have to keep doing it. And it's all in the numbers, and it's all about asking more people. The more that you get in front of people, the more people that will show up and want to be a part of what you're doing. So we are planning on still doing power hours on our diamond retreat because we want to move our business forward. We want to keep rocking out and keep going. We don't want, it's still a vacation. We're going to enjoy every minute of it, but we can spend an hour in the morning working on our business. So we'll let you know what time we're doing a power hour. We can do it live if you guys want to join us. But, it just stresses you out sometimes when you're like, okay, sorry, somebody sent me a message and then I started reading it. Totally forgot where I was going. But it stresses me out to think about when I'm going somewhere and then I can't work my business and I'm going to sneak it in. So if I can get that first thing in the morning, I don't feel guilty about like, oh, I shouldn't work on my vacation. Well, if I'm going to stress about it all day, then yeah, I'm going to work it in the morning so I don't have to worry about it later. So power hours are really awesome to implement. I have been doing them this week, and I took was totally crappy last week when my family was here. And what I wasn't doing is getting up early, doing a power hour, doing my workout, and I was letting family be an excuse. So anytime you've got travel plans, you've got family, my biggest thing is get up earlier and just freaking do it, because you're going to feel guilty. You're going to worry about it. It's going to stress you out. Get up earlier, knock it out, do your shit. So, all right, that's enough about me. It is Wednesday night, so it is the end of Beachbody week. We go Thursday to Wednesday, so tomorrow is payday for anything that you met. So anything that you sold from last Thursday to tonight, you get paid not tomorrow, but the next Thursday. So that's how the Beachbody paycheck works. And you need to, if you're diamond or if you're emerald, you need to go into your sponsorship drill down. You go to your coach online office, then you click my business, my downline sponsorship drill down. And then you check and see. You want to make sure you have enough active coaches, and you want to make sure that you aren't losing your emeralds, or, if you just have two coaches, you want to make sure that both of them are showing as active. If you ever have a coach that's showing as, it says inactive in red letters, that means that if they don't buy something or sell something worth 50 PV by Wednesday night at midnight Eastern time, they're going to be inactive that Thursday. And it's going to affect your rank. It's going to affect your uplines rank, and it's going to be a poopy day. So you need to be sure that you're checking your sponsorship drill down before Wednesday night. So instill that into you, that's just something part of your power hour you do every day. You check into your coach online office for 5 minutes, check your orders, check your leads, check your drill down, check out your volume. How's that doing? Things like that. So without further ado, I am going to introduce Tanner to talk to us about Streak. She's got a really awesome organizational system that really works great for her. And I asked her because I want to learn, because I need a system other than just writing in my notebook, because my notebook is in South Carolina right now, and I'm having her send me screenshots of my planner right now because I don't have any of those names of people that I've talked to for the last 11 months. So I can't tell you enough how important it is to have a backup plan, have something that's going to have all your clients in one place. So Tanner is a diamond coach. She's going to be here with us for our diamond retreat. She's super awesome. She's getting married this year. She's been able to quit some of her jobs. So she's basically a full-time coach with just a little bit of personal training on the side. So she is going to talk to us about streak, not steak, and organization. And I almost said Taz. And Zach is going to talk to us after Tanner about, he just got back from the men's retreat. What was it even called? I don't even know what it was called. I'm sorry. He'll tell you. And Nick Becker, who's on the call, was there too. So he's going to do some recap. And Sarah said he's got lots of notes and he was rehearsing. So it's going to be really good. So go ahead, Tanner.
Okay, well, I have 0 notes and did not rehearse, so Zach is already going to outdo me here. But, yeah. So I'm going to talk about streak today, and I'm going to try to get this done as quick as possible because I don't know about you guys, but I really would rather hear what Zach has to say than talk about streak. So I'm going to get going really quick. Please hold questions till the end, and we can go over them after if need be. But my advice, go back and watch this recording. When I was learning streak, I had to watch Brooke LaPop's call it like 10 times while I was trying to figure it out. So, all right, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to get going. Okay, so Streak is through Gmail, and you can run this on your computer or on your phone. There is an app. You can download Streak on your phone, but for setting things up, do this on your desktop. You can see it's kind of up here in the little corner. If you do not have it installed into your Gmail, you can just literally look it up, like Google Streak. Don't just type Streak. That was a big mistake. But so what these are called are pipelines, and I'm going to try to zoom into them here. These are all where I keep everybody organized. So I keep all my coach prospects in here, all my challenger prospects, people who are in a challenge group, everyone. So this one's a big one. Everyone that I am adding to or talking on Facebook that is not really yet a prospect, I'm kind of still forming them. And then I put my free leads in here, still working on that. These are all kind of new. Instagram, I'm starting to put all of my Instagram peeps in here. And I'm actually going to start putting all my coaches in here too, because I have coaches at all different levels now, and I'm going to start putting them into different things. And free groups. So if you run a free group, so this is my last free group I ran, and I haven't really updated it from there. But so my coach prospects pipeline, I kind of went off of Brooke LaPop's thing. So I encourage you guys to go watch it. It's right over here. Just look up Brooke LaPop Streak, and she has a million different videos. But I kind of tailored it to more how I run my business. So there are things that I've edited, but I've basically kept a lot of the same things that she does. And if you want to see exactly how she puts these columns, she has a little Google Doc right here too. You can click on, and it's going to show you exactly what she puts in columns for everything. So here's how it goes. Anyone who is kind of in my dream list, like people that I think would be awesome coaches, they're going to go right here. So if I want to add somebody new to my dream list, I'm going to put new box, and then I'm going to type in their name. So April, enter. Let's say that, yeah, you wish. Let's say that I invited them, or let's say I interacted with them. So part of my power hour is to go interact with 3 people on my dream list a day. And so that's not necessarily messaging them and being like, hey, do you want to be a coach? That is, I am going onto their page, finding something that they posted and liking and commenting something genuine, just how we do with interacting with normal people. So let's say that I interacted with her. I'm going to double click on dream list, move her to interacted with, and that will move down. It just kind of takes a minute to upload. But it will move to my interacted list. I think it's moving slow. So these are all my other different pipelines. So let's say I have a customer who's loyal on Shakeology. Then they would go in there. So like I said, this is still really new to me. I am gone back through my last messages over the last 20 months, and I'm still putting people into here. I think I finally made it to January of this year. But these are all my different, I'm not sure what she calls these, stages. Yeah, these are all my different stages. So they've been on Shakeology for a while, or let's say that they are a really awesome challenger. Then they would go into these groups right here. And I keep track of everything down to international, because when Beachbody does expand, which I'm pretty sure it will someday, I want to have all those people in my pipeline that have talked to me or have shown interest, but I'm like, I'm sorry, we're not there yet. So, and then I have a whole big not interested list too. Or what's my big one here? Oh, they won't respond to me. But I keep those on there just in case if they come back. And not right now. Say I've sent a link and they haven't filled it out yet. I put everything through there. So when you guys are filling all of these things in, I'm not necessarily going off of these. I'm really just using this right now to keep track of people's names so I know where they're at. So in Brooke's video, she goes over all of these. She probably talks to so many people that she needs to know everybody's goals, when they followed up, all that stuff. But personally, I have not used any of this at all. So I wasted the time putting all that in, and I don't know why. So I don't recommend doing that unless you want to. She will show you why she does that. But you can see here that I have not done that with everything here. I've just kind of, well, maybe I have. There's my challenge group. Okay. So the reason that you want to have all of these right here the same is so that way, like, let's say I sent link. So I have this girl sign up and I need to move her to my coaches. So I'm going to click on her box, go to more, and then I'm going to move her to a different pipeline. So she is now one of my coaches. She is going to show up in there. And so I can go to my coaches. I can figure out, okay, so she's done that. And actually she is in my 7-day training now. So she's going into my 7-day training. So pretty easy, but okay. So let's say that you want to, I'm going to go to one that's not as full here. Instagram. I'm trying to find one that's not full. Okay, so if I want to add a new stage, all I have to do is click the plus sign, and let's say, we'll just put, won't respond thing. You can just put them in that stage like that. And if you want to change the color, that's really easy. You just go over here, change color. Let's say you want that writing to be white. I'm kind of anal and like everything to be white. So I put add custom color. And then, so here's the background color, here's the text color. Then that will show up like that. Well, let's say that you made a mistake and you don't want that. You can just go up here and click delete stage. So here is where I keep track of every new friend that I add on Facebook. So I add 10 people a day. I go and look for mutual friends and I add 10 people, and then I will just go to my Facebook. This is part of my power hour, is to update streak. I spend like 5 minutes updating it at the end of my power hour. So anyone that's accepted me, they go into my new friend list here, and I can go new box and put them there. And let's say part of my power hour is to connect with 3 new people. So that's, like I said, with the dream list, going on to their page, finding something to like or comment on, and then they will go to, I interacted with them, but have not messaged them yet. So that's why I have a different pipeline for each. So the reason I have this old friend part, this is when I just started putting up streak, and these were people that I started to put in, and then I was like, I'll go back to that later. I want to keep up with my new friends, because if you go to your recently added on Facebook, that expires like after a week or so. So I'm going to go back, and anyone that's an old friend on Facebook that I've had for years, I'm going to go put them in there. But trying to keep up with getting this all set up is, I'm kind of on a time crunch while my new friends are expiring, if that makes sense. If I've messaged them before and we've been talking, they go into my message, and people who won't respond. So I just keep a list of everybody in there, because you just never know who's going to come back. As far as Instagram goes, I'm still trying to put all of my Instagram names in there, because I've done it before where I invite someone to Facebook and they were like, you already invited me a week ago, and I don't have Facebook. So I am trying to get into the habit of put their Instagram names in here, but really I am not very good at that, because I do Instagram on my phone. So when I'm 531ing people, I just keep track of all of them on a Google Doc in my phone. So like, these are all the people that I need to 531 and stuff. I went through them today off of people who liked my photo and stuff. But once they add me to Facebook, then they go to added to Facebook. And if I've messaged them, then they go into that. And if I'm talking to them on Facebook, they go into here. And this is the won't respond. And then like when I am 531ing people, I am usually prospecting for coaching. So once I kind of message them a little bit, then they go on to, let's see if any of these can go on there yet. Okay, so I like this girl a lot. I'm going to put her onto my dream list. So she's going into here, move to pipeline of coach prospects. And she's automatically going to show up in that first one, Erin Todd. So then she's in my dream list, and then I can interact with her. So that way I'm constantly moving people along in the stages that I want them to. So that's really how I run it. I mean, I really encourage you to just go and watch Brooks on how to set it up, but this is how I set up my pipelines exactly. And I will go through really quick, so it will be on the recording of each of my different pipelines. I'll just go through and scroll so that way you guys can look. So there's my coach prospects, challenger prospects, challenge group, that's how I have that. Facebook, free leads. Like I said, I still need to start inputting everybody in here. I just have not yet. Instagram, oops, shit. There's all of those, and my coaches, and then free group. So that way that'll be on the recording. You guys can go back and kind of see how I set up my pipelines. But everybody runs their business a little bit differently, so you're probably going to have some different stages, and maybe you want to do your pipelines a little bit different. But that's how I use mine, and the longer I've had my business and the more people I talk to, pen and paper is just not working for me anymore because people are constantly moving to different parts of my pipeline. So instead of like crossing their name out and then like, okay, I need to invite them tomorrow, or I need to follow up, I already have that all in here. So that's about it. Like I said, I would use Brooke's thing because she's going to show you like the nitty gritty. Oh, this is how you add a new little column. This is how you add a new stage and stuff like that. But that is how I set up mine. So, okay.
Okay, thank you. That's awesome. And I actually set up Streak once, and I just haven't used it. So I have my pipelines ready. I'm just not using them for some reason. So I need to go in, edit them, and I'll look at yours this weekend when you're here too. So do that.
Yep.
Rachel, are you alive? Are you sick? What is happening? Are you gonna make it, girlfriend?
I'm playing with my daughter, trying to keep her distracted.
Okay, I was like, oh, or do you have a fever? Thanks for making it to the call. All right, so thank you, Tanner, for that. That's awesome. And I'm sure we'll pick your brain a little bit more this weekend. But, okay, Zach, go do your thing.
Tanner, that was straight up the most colorful demonstration that I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'm a colorful person. What can I say?
Sarah was like, is this something you would use? I was like, yeah, but I don't know if I could go into Tanner's like detail and color coding and all that stuff.
I was like, doesn't the color make you so happy? He's like, yeah.
Well, that's why I made it colorful. I was like, because I don't really like that part of the business. Like that part kind of drives me nuts, but I make it all colorful and it makes it more enjoyable. So.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to go over kind of in chronological order from sharing your story to turning people into clients to turning them into coaches. And the event overall was a pretty awesome event. The biggest takeaways from it, I would say, were that, one, there's no difference being a dude coach or being a female coach. It's just that the women have mastered it over time, right? So it made guys along the way, somewhere along the way, it made guys feel kind of like intimidated. So the first part I want to go over is sharing your story. So the first thing you want to make sure that you're doing is being passionate about what you're talking about, especially with Beachbody, because this is going to attract people to your story. The second thing you want to do is promote generosity. You want to give all of yourself 100% of the time. So you want to really make sure, and I'm going to go on about this later, make sure that you're making everything about the person who you're trying to help, not about you. You want to make your story personal. You want to make sure that it's engaging to other people. If you look at like YouTube celebrities, they always have like the highlight reel, right? And they'll have like 5 million followers and 30 people will comment on their photos. That's because their posts aren't engaging. They're not connecting with anybody because it's not real life. It's not realistic. You know, people connect with empathy. People connect with if you're having a good day, if you're having a bad day. They want to see everything that happens in your everyday life, not just the highlight reel. One of the things that one of the speakers said was, your success may impress, but your struggle is relatable. So it goes back to the whole, like highlight reel. Make sure that you're putting yourself out there. And something else that I'll go on later on is about making sure that what you're putting out there is, I lost my train of thought. I'll get to it later because it's not on my notes. So anyway, make sure that you're thinking of the 4 parts of your story, right? So 1 is a little bit of the background, tell a little bit about yourself. 2 is what you didn't like about your struggle, right? So maybe you had an eating disorder, or maybe you got bullied as a kid, or maybe you just didn't like the way you felt in some of your clothes, right? Talk about your struggles and what made you want to change. And then the third thing you want to talk about is your solution. So your solution was Beachbody. Your solution is what you found in this group of people that we're on a phone call with right now. And you want to talk about what it was that attracted you to Beachbody, what program you used, give a little bit of insight to people, and then talk about why you're excited about the future. So we always talk about your why and how your why is important. You want to explain to people what your why is and how you're going to get there, because they can relate to that. You might not want to put, I plan on making $200,000 next year, but you might want to put, I plan on taking more vacations and retiring from work at a younger age and being able to pay off my car or my house earlier. Those are things that people can really relate to. As far as posting on social media, there was one speaker, and I don't remember who it was who wrote it because I didn't write his name down. But if there's one thing that I can't stand seeing, and this is just me personally, so if you do this on a daily basis, I mean no harm in saying this, but I cannot stand Shako selfies. Like, Shako selfies are my biggest pet peeve in the whole world. And that's just me. I can't stand it. Shako selfies are not adding value to somebody else when you're posting them. And he was talking about how they came about back in the day from holding yourself accountable for other people. So for your coach, you'd be like, hey, drinking my shake today, or sweaty selfie, whatever. But a lot of people are putting up like, drinking my shake, ask me about it. You want to buy it? And that's not, what value are you adding to anybody? You're not adding any. So the thing that he said was, would you pay to post your post? Which I thought was really good. So, if you're going to take a picture and you're going to post it on Facebook, would you pay $5 to post that post? Is it adding value, and is it going to bring value back to you in monetary form, or in clients and, satisfaction of helping other people? And I just thought that was, that really connected with me, just because it made me think of like the Shako selfie specifically. So, the other thing we talked about was the social media influence formula, how to make a good post and make it engaging. So I talked about that a little bit at the beginning. You want to make sure you're sharing your personal story. And then each of us have kind of like a niche market, right? So like Christine might be everybody in her like mom's group, right? So she might relate to moms. Sarah relates to people who have dogs. And, other people are going to relate to people who have kids. And, everybody has kind of like a little bit of a niche. So you want to figure out what your niche is and go specifically for those people. So lead with what's strong and valuable to you. The next thing you want to post about is your solution or your revelation. So what makes you excited about that post specifically? What makes you excited to put that post out there and tell other people about it? And then the last part is put an attractive visual on it. So if you make a post and you post a video with it, or something that's going to catch somebody's eye. So, you're scrolling through Facebook and you see like Motivation Monday, like I got out of bed today. And, what's going to be different about your post compared to all the other posts on Monday? So what's going to add value to that? The next part we talked about was connecting with people. And a big takeaway that I got from that, and I put it in bold letters in my notes, was shut up and listen, right? So I said earlier, make it about who you're talking to. And ask them questions, be overwhelmingly interested in what it is that they have to say, because that will cause you to have a greater connection with people. People love to talk about themselves, whether they realize it or not. If they have low self-esteem, if they have high self-esteem, if they're confident, if they're not, it doesn't matter. People like to talk about themselves. People like to share their story, and you might have to pull teeth a little bit to get them started, but eventually it's going to start rolling. And the more you find out about them, the more they'll feel comfortable with you, and the more they'll be able to share what it is that they want from you. The next thing is follow-ups. So Tanner, when she was going through her streak, she was talking about how she puts everybody into groups. One of the things that I noticed was the group that had the biggest amount of people was the people who she has to either follow up with or the people who don't respond. So you have to get over your ego in this business. And if the people don't respond, that's fine. They may have something going on in their life right now where they're like, dude, I make $200,000 a year. I'm a lawyer. I'm a doctor. Like, I don't need this, whatever. One of the things that Dave Ward talked about was he was a real estate lawyer back in 2008. The economy collapsed and went to crap. And then he had nothing. So people's situations are always changing. They may have something going on now that's not going to be going on 6 months down the road. And if you continue to keep following up with them, it shows them that you care, that you're engaged with them, and that you're the person that they're going to go to when they finally do make the decision to say yes. 80% of challenge packs, this is a true statistic from Beachbody, 80% of challenge packs are sold on the 5th to 12th follow-up. So you have people that you're talking to 10 times and they're still going to say no. But on that 12th time, they might say yes. And maybe it'll take 15 times. Maybe it'll take 20 times. But you need to stop caring what other people think, right? So if they say no to you, excuse me.
Go on.
I can't do it. I can't do it when you're hijacking the computer. Very rude over here. So make sure you're staying consistent. Make sure you're following up with people. Get over your ego and shut up and listen. That's the most important part of connecting. The next thing they talked about was for connecting with people, they used the acronym FORM, which was ask them about, so F for family, O for occupation, R for recreation, and M is message. And I didn't really understand message at first because I was like, well, the person's not going to have a message to share with you. But the M for message is for you to share with them. So you talk to them a little bit about your family. Oh, I saw your kids were, in like Pee-wee football, and my kids are playing Pee-wee football, or my little cousin plays Pee-wee football. What do you do for work? What do you like to do for a hobby? You like to go canoeing, you like to go fishing, whatever it is. And then your message is, what do you have to share with them that can help them do those things more, right? So you have the Beachbody coaching opportunity, which could allow them to potentially retire from work earlier, or maybe work part-time so that they can spend more time at Pee-wee football, so that they can spend more time canoeing or fishing or whatever it is that they like to do, right? So form: family, occupation, recreation, and message. And then the next thing we talked about was the 3 to 5 rule, right? So Tanner said that she invites 10 people a day, or she talks to 10, or she friend requests 10 new people a day. That's a lot of people. Here they talked about doing 3 to 5 as a minimum, right? So the 3 to 5 rule is invite or friend request 3 to 5 new friends a day, send 3 to 5 new messages to new people a day. And maybe some days you're not going to get any responses, and that's fine. And maybe some days you're going to get 5 no's. You're going to continue that follow-up part, and you're going to continue to better yourself, make your business bigger, grow your brand. 3 to 5 challenge packs a month. So, you're hitting Success Club 5 or Success Club 10, and 3 to 5 new coaches a month. Chris Reed talked about this, and he said that this is an absolute minimum rule that he uses when he gets coaches on board. He says, look, this is what you have to do. He doesn't leave it as, hey, this is what I would do if I was you. Hey, I'd like to see you do this. He just straight up sets goals for his coaches. And he said ever since he started doing that, and he'll follow up with them and be like, where you at? Where you at? Where are you at? When are you going to have those people? So it made his coaches kind of take on that same mentality. And his coaches, he said he's trained his coaches to just drop the bomb and say to people who will say, oh yeah, maybe I'll do it like on Friday because I get paid, or maybe I'll do it next Friday. He'll tell his coaches, ask for a date. Ask them to commit to you right now to give you an in-stone time and date that they're going to sign up with Beachbody, sign up with you as a coach. So the next thing we talked about was challenge groups. Some of this stuff, a lot of this stuff is opinion based, right? But I put down on here the things that I thought really, really made sense just from like a common sense kind of rule of thumb. Dave Atkins talked about running your groups for a month at a time. So, you could do 21 days or whatever you want to do, but don't run them longer than a month. And he talked about, he used to always have them going for like several months at a time. And him and his wife, when they changed their approach to just doing it every month, at the end of the month, they'll make a video and they'll invite people to come on as coaches, whether it's a discount coach or whether it's signing up as a regular coach. So at the end of the month, you're telling people, hey, you have to take action. Like, what is it that you want to do? And they expect these people to respond to them. And he said once they started doing that, they started signing on tons more coaches. Their business just boomed and boomed and boomed. So I thought that was a really useful tip. Another coach that you guys probably know, Pat Reelman, talked about starting your challenge groups. A lot of people start your challenge groups on the first of the month. He talked about starting them on the third or fourth week, because this way it'll give you the first 2 to 3 weeks to hit Success Club, right? To hit Success Club 10. Then on the last 2 to 1 week of the month, you're not worrying about being desperate to try to get people into a challenge group at the last second, because it's going to start in the first of the month. So if you're starting at the third, fourth week of the month, you already got Success Club out of the way. You can focus on really making sure that you're giving that time to the people in the actual challenge group. And the other thing he said he does is he does a daily accountability post, where he'll make a slide and he'll post it up for how many people checked in and said, I did my workout, I drank my shake, whatever. And then every day as it goes, your number goes. So if he likes to do 21-day fix all the time. So it's day 15, who's done it 15 times, who's done it 1 time, who's done it 14 times, whatever it is. And then just some overall other good tips that I got was stepping outside of your comfort zone. People really like to be in their comfort zone, and that's what causes people to constantly be mediocre. If you want to be really, really good, whether it's in this business or you want to be an overachiever and get to higher places, you need to step out of your comfort zone. Gary Vaynerchuk was there, and he talked about how when he was a kid, he used to play football, and he was way too small to play football. So he's like, I suck at this. What's something I'm really, really good at? And he was like, I'm really, really good at talking to people, and I'm really, really good at getting my friends to trade me for stuff, and I'll have something that's not as good as they have. So then he turned that into trading baseball cards, and he would trade his crappy baseball cards for good baseball cards. And then he would take those good baseball cards and go to the mall and sell them. And 2 years later, he was making $3,000 a month when he was in like 7th grade, because he continued to build on his strengths. And he got out of his comfort zone of just saying, well, I'm just going to play football. And even though I suck at it, that's what everybody else is doing. So that's what I'm going to do. Another thing that we talked about was objections. Everybody gets objections. Objections are unanswered questions. So if you have a price objection, or if you have an I don't have time objection, it's because they don't understand why they don't have the money. They don't understand why they don't have the time. I used that excuse up until like a month ago, and then like a month ago, when I started getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's okay. You can. And I rearranged my whole day so that I could have more time to do this in the evening. And to be honest with you, before the men's event, I really didn't do crap. I would just come home. I would get up in the morning. I'd go to the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd do everything I said I was going to do until it came time to do something with this. And then I'd just go sit on the couch for like 4 hours and then fall asleep. And there was no point. So, make sure that you're answering people's questions. If they have objections, figure out a way to break it down for them specifically. So if somebody has an objection and, you know, they're smoking, you can use that as part of your explanation. If they're saying they don't have time, ask them what it is they do when they get home. You can figure out in that time frame where there is to spend 15, 20 minutes a day. Like, that's all you need. You don't need to spend hours and hours and hours doing this to get started. You don't need to. And that's pretty much all I have. There's going to be an ebook. That comes out for everybody who's at the men's event that they're going to send out. That it's probably going to be another like week or two away. Once it comes out, April, I'll send it to you so if you can post it on the page, and it has basically everything I went over and everybody's slideshows and then tons of extra stuff that everybody else is putting together. And then the last thing I'll just leave with is just remember that you don't need acceptance from anybody to be a Beachbody coach, to do what you do. There's always going to be haters. And even we've all seen it, even people in Beachbody, sometimes hate on other people's posts, right? So somebody would be like I did it a little bit earlier. I was like, you know, there's always going to be haters. Don't get discouraged. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep pushing forward. Trying to stay as far away from mediocrity as possible. And you know, stay consistent over time. Yes. Another one of the things that they said, which I thought was really, really awesome. So stay consistent. Good coaches do things consistently, no matter if it's, you know, day 1 or day 200. That's all I got.
Woo! That was awesome. I loved it. So what would you say is the biggest change in you, like, from going? Like, what?
Not giving a shit what people think.
Mm-hmm. Was that
100%? Yeah, I just don't care.
Was that holding you back before you went?
Yep, that was probably my biggest thing. So my biggest thing was I like to lift. I like bodybuilding. So I can't really be involved in Beachbody because the two don't match up. And one of the things I did when I was there was I was like actively looking for somebody to, I don't know, like maybe mentor me or just like give me some advice. Somebody who was obviously into more than just doing Beachbody, into bodybuilding. And I found this guy, Judd Welty, who I spoke to a couple times, and he's a bodybuilder. Like, he does competitions and stuff like that. And he's a 10-star diamond coach, and he does it full time. And he makes it the difference between Beachbody and what he does in the gym. He just combines the two. You know, he finds an even keel in the middle to do both of them. And he said once he figured out that you don't have to just be a gym rat or just be into Beachbody, then that's when he became really successful, because he stopped caring what other people think, what other people thought, and he started just doing it for him, you know. So I thought getting over yourself, getting over your ego, and just not caring what people think is huge.
I think that's seriously so many people's issue. I can't tell you how many people are in their own freaking way, and they're like, I know I need to post, but I'm just so like, what if? Like, who freaking cares? Like, if those people are going to make fun of you for a Facebook post, or they're going to have your back for something else, like, they don't matter. You know, and I've used that example all the time. My own sister was like, arguing with me and like saying stuff on my posts and stuff for when I first started. I was just like, can you just like not? That's my business. So if it bothers you, just go away. And she did. She blocked me. Fine. Like,
and if you keep working super hard, your haters are going to keep watching you. And then once they see that you're successful, they're probably going to be like, what are you doing? I want to be a part of it. And you're going to be like, remember when you used to hate me? Remember that? Well, you should have been on board then. Rub in their face a little bit before you help them out.
Exactly. And the other thing is that even if people do, like, sometimes maybe once in a blue moon somebody would ever say anything, but for the most part, they're just going to roll your eyes at your post and keep scrolling. Mm-hmm. They're not going to be like, you're so freaking annoying, get off my page. They're either going to unfriend you, block you, or just keep scrolling and roll their eyes. Like, but they're not going to physically attack you and be like, you stupid moron, you are annoying me. So you just have to get that out of your head. When you message people, they're either going to respond, hey girl, or you know, ignore you. Mm-hmm. That's it. They are not going to respond with, you stupid freak, stop messaging me. They are not. So you just need to get that out of your head. Get over it.
Yep.
And when it comes to sharing your story, I've had so many people like, I'm so scared. Push post and walk away from it. Like, go walk away from your computer. You don't have to physically be there. You don't have to watch it. And if it's about making a video about yourself, you don't like the way your voice sounds, whatever, just do it. Walk away. Don't watch it again. Shalane Johnson always says that. She's like, I don't watch myself again. She's like, because I hate the way that I sound.
Yeah.
You know,
one of the other things that they said was when you're like sharing your story or whatever, everybody likes to say like, I'm not ready. I don't have my after pictures yet, whatever. So, your story has already begun no matter where you are. It doesn't really matter where you're at in your journey. People want to see it, and they want to see where you started from, whether it's now and you're going through your journey, or whether you're at the end of your journey, or, whatever it is. So the other thing that they said was posting other people's transformations and journeys, which I know most of us in this team do, can be also equally as helpful as posting your own, So if you're having a really bad day and you don't want to post a transformation picture of yourself, post one of somebody else. That can be just as inviting and engaging to other people.
And it's not always about a big weight loss story. I don't have a huge weight loss story. And so it depends too who you're talking to. For a lot of people that have a lot of weight to lose, when I'm talking to them in a private message about a product, I will send them Melissa's photo and be like, dude, yeah, my sister's been doing this for 2 years, using home workouts from Beachbody and Shakeology. She's lost 107 pounds. Doesn't she look great? If it's somebody that's like, I just want to tone up, and then I'll send them mine. But if it's somebody that wants to lose 65 pounds and I send them mine, like, hey, I was a size 4 before and now I'm a size 2, like, they're going to be like, I wasn't even anywhere near you in the beginning. That's not motivating to me. So you have to gauge who you're talking to as well, and just share testimonials, like collect them. And that's why yesterday, if you go in the post yesterday in our team page, everybody shared their testimonial. Go through that, find those people, save it, and use it for Transformation Tuesdays later. Does anybody have any questions for Zac? That was awesome, Zac. I loved that.
Yeah.
A lot of tough love that people just need to hear, and just do it anyways. This business isn't hard. You just have to. The hardest part is probably getting out of your own way and just not giving a shit.
Yep. Oh, the other thing they talked about was using more social media platforms than just Instagram and Facebook. A lot of people are using Snapchat and getting a lot of success out of that. Nobody really went into what they're doing specifically with Snapchat, which I was hoping they would have like a Q&A section at the end, which they didn't, because I don't really understand how you build a Snapchat following without telling somebody from another social media platform, like, go follow me. I don't really, you know what I mean? Unless you're big enough. I don't really know how you do it.
And I think that's just what you have to do. Like in your Instagram bio, find me on Snapchat, things like that.
Yep.
But when you are on Snapchat, I think the best thing is showing you, and not just being like, I'm whipping out my Shakeology, I'm working out, I'm doing this, like pictures of your dogs, videos of you being stupid, things like that. So, yeah. Nick, what would you say your biggest takeaway was from the men's event?
All right. Can you hear me? Sorry. I'm at the hot tub. I would say that my biggest takeaway was definitely action and urgency, which leads to consistency. I had the opportunity to literally steal 45 seconds of Dave Ward's time, and that was like the biggest impact. And he used an analogy with like a burning house. And what I really took from everything that Zac said, like Zac nailed it. It's all about being consistent. Sorry. And it's all about being like that sense of urgency. Like, I'm going to post and I'm going to invite, and I really don't give a shit what people think otherwise. Honestly, like when I got back here to Boynton, like I realized like I gotta hit diamond. And it's not about ranking. And that's another thing that I really took away is a lot of these guys are up there 15-star, 10-star, but they really said, like, this business is easy. You really just got to get out of your own way. And that's absolutely, like, my biggest takeaway.
Yeah. And the other thing is, too, is that it's not even about, like, being a 15-star diamond. And focus on your leadership ladder. Like, take a look at it and see what you need to get to your next rung, because that's also showing you that you have a successful business. Because if you're a 2-star diamond, woohoo, but it's your husband's account and your mom, okay, that's basically you, you know, that doesn't say anything about you duplicating and creating quality coaches and things like that. So you want to focus on the leadership ladder, you know, building your week leg volume, you know, teaching the best thing. This is kind of my light bulb moment, because I was trying to think about something today, and it was like, what am I not doing enough of that I feel like I was doing more before? And I think it was sharing everything I learn. If I get tidbits from personal development, share it with your team. If I want to try something new, share it with your team. If I find out something that works, share it with your team. And the first probably 2 years of my business, I just did it. And I would sign coaches, great, figure it out, cool. And I was like, just like, I didn't share it. So it doesn't matter if you think they don't want to hear it, tell them, because it's only going to help them. The people that need to hear it are listening.
Also, like, I don't know if you guys have been using the feature in your team pages or on Facebook at all, but I am in love with Facebook, and I don't know that I'll ever fully take on another platform completely, because I love Facebook and I think it's constantly evolving. Like, they just took on the live video feature, and despite my technical difficulties last night, I absolutely love the live feature. And if you don't know, you could go live in groups. So you can go live in your challenge group, you can go live in your team page. And like Christine, like I went live today, and it's just kind of like off the top of my head, spitting out a quick video about something that I'm experiencing. And that is like on the spot. You don't have to have extra storage in your phone to do it, because that's my biggest holdup about making videos on the spot, because they always cut me off. But the live feature is amazing, and I've been using that like a live whore, like just going so crazy over it. But it's an awesome feature for like on the spot teaching your team, you know, and sharing your life on Facebook.
We'll be driving down the road and she'll mute the radio and she'll be like, I need to go live right now.
She
did it today.
Yes. With my dogs panting in the background, like it was really glamorous. But anyway, I totally love that feature, and it has helped me relay my thoughts so much more clearly to my team.
I just totally unrelated, but I saw Sarah or Rachel said something in the chat. People will add her on Snapchat to see how she makes a meal. And that's always a great thing. Like if you make something, do Snapchats and show like how you're doing it step by step. And it's going to be a ton of them, you know, depending on what it is, but because you can only do for 15 seconds too for Snapchat. But, you know, you can do that and then get the picture, and, then when you post the picture on Facebook or Instagram, like find me on Snapchat to see how I made this. Like that's a great way to get people to follow you and add value.
That is a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because editing videos to like take segments is so tedious. I hate it. So that's a really good idea. I like that idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So does anybody have any questions about literally anything? Life in general, any questions? Because I just love team call nights. I love being able to connect with people. And if you have something that's like, it doesn't matter if you're like, somebody said this and I don't know how to respond, like ask us, because this is you being a sponge. I love that video Sarah made in our push group. Be a sponge, suck it up, like everywhere you can. And don't be afraid to ask questions, because nobody here is going to be like, you're so annoying. That was the stupidest question I've ever heard. Nobody. And if they do, they're fired. So, yeah. So I want you guys to really focus on having a posting schedule in place, sharing your story. And I can attest to that. I went back my Instagram. I was like, oh my gosh, when is the last time I shared my story? I couldn't even tell you. So that for me was a big eye opener, that you have to do it because you're constantly adding people. You know, you're adding 5 to 10 people a day. If you don't share your story for 2 months, that's how many people? If you added 10 people a day, you know, that's 60 people that don't know your story. Let them connect with you. And you're not like copy paste, same picture, same story each week or every other week, but sharing different parts of it. you know, you have so many different parts of your story that have made you and molded you to who you are. And, you know, you need to share little bits of that all the time. So, yeah, Tanner said she shared her transformation, and like so many people were like, oh, I never saw your transformation before. You forget and you feel like, oh, I don't want to be annoying. And so you stop doing it for a while. And then you're like, whoa, I can, you know, and I can inspire somebody else just by sharing this. So you need to make sure that you continuously do that. And I want you guys to go through your Facebook and see if you would scroll through your posts. Could somebody tell that you were a coach and that they could join you? And could somebody tell that you run monthly fitness challenges every month and they could join you? And if they can't, then you are doing yourself a disservice, because that is the reason you are on Facebook. So make sure that you can scroll through that and do some constructive criticism of yourself. So we have a live event, live What is Coaching event tonight at 8:30. What is going to happen is it's in the event. So I posted it again in the group, so make sure you click going. And I'm going to be live in the group for about 15 minutes and break down, what does a coach do? Who can be a coach? Like blah, 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 blah. And then I'm going to say, okay, I need you guys to ask one question that you have about coaching below to be entered into our shake samples. And then I will so then I'll say, okay, sign off, do another live video in the event page answering those questions. Like, I don't think I can be a coach because what if I'm really shy? Can I be a coach? And then I can, you know, answer that. So what I would also do is message anybody that you know is going or you invited and say, hey, we're doing a drawing. So if you want to get on that live video now and just ask one question that you're kind of like is holding you back from coaching, it'll enter you into free shake samples. So that will get them talking, and then it gives you something to like address with them. So that's at 8:30. So in like about 30 minutes, make sure you send people private messages. Even if you talk to them before, remind them, hey, I'm so excited. We're going live in about 30 minutes. I'm grabbing a glass of wine. How about you? You know, stuff like that. So just tell them it's going to be super down to earth, laid back, and, you know, let me do the work for you. And the biggest thing is following up. They will post the question on my live feed as I'm talking. The thing about events is when you go live in events, I can't see anybody's comments until I'm done. I might see one or two. It's really weird, but it's not like real time. So I won't be able to see anything until I'm done. But then when I'm done, I'll read them all, and then I'll go live again for like 5 or 10 minutes. Mine is great for migraines. What about if your story has to do with more of a mindset transformation? That's perfect. And, you know, that's when you can do something that's like beautiful then, beautiful now. You know, and I always say, do not be like, look at this junky piece of crap I was on the left. Because people want to come in and save you and be like, girl, you were beautiful. Don't put yourself down. And then your whole message is lost. So don't put your beginning self down, because then people are like, girl, you looked fine before. Especially when, for me, like my biggest was some people like would wish they looked like that, you know, that have a lot of weight to lose. So, you know, you don't want to be making fun of yourself on the left when people are like, I would die to look like that. That is offensive to them. So always talk about the emotional thing too, because that's what people connect with so much. Yeah. So, and, you know, we have a lot of people that don't have a true huge, weight loss transformation yet, but the most important thing is just kind of talking about how it's changed them emotionally, physically, you know, whatever. So yeah, so any other questions before we get going? Anything about the live event or anything? All right, so who on this call, and I can't see any faces, so if I can't see your video, post in the comments section, but if I can see your face, who will be at our 2017 Diamond Retreat? Yay! Okay, so Alexis, I didn't see your hand, girlfriend. Thank you. Okay, so so we are going to actually try to hash out some details this weekend at our retreat for our next retreat, so we can kind of figure it out, guidelines, so we can have all that. Angela has her hand up too. Oh my God, she does. That's so funny. All right, so I'm going to end the recording because I'm going to go take some notes about what I'm going to talk about. And I hope that you guys love this recording. Listen to it again, take some notes, share it with your peeps, and I'll see you in 30 minutes. Ow, I went to go like this and I just cut myself. Bye.